I know it's here somewhere. Finally. Oh, it's time for the doctor. You're listening to Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. Take it away, Doctor.
Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon, is brought to you this week by Dine.com.
Well, it's that time again, and the doctor is in. My voice is a little rough this week. I've been fighting off some things of a cold-like nature. But anyway, I'll do the best I can. My voice is really cracking up a bit. But anyway, one does what one can when one is doing a weekly video netcast type show thing. We are proud members of the Tech Podcast Network, techpodcast.com. If it's tech, it's right here on Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. I am, by the way, Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon. I'm not sure if I said that I was, but I am. Who else would admit to being Dr. Bill, the computer curmudgeon, except moi? Yeah. Well, anyway, we have stuff as usual. You know, Fred gives me a hard time about saying I have stuff, but what else can you call it but stuff? You know what I'm saying? It's stuff. Techie stuff, cool stuff. Got several things to share with you this week that's really cool. So hang in there for that. You know, don't tune away from this bat channel. Yes, we do this, of course, as live as it can be, but not live. Although I'm thinking about it. Should I do it live or not? I'm not sure. What do you think? Yeah. You know, the thing is, if I tried to do it live and like watched the chat room and tried to actually deal with the things that were being done in the chat room, I'd be going, I can't keep up. I'm very linear that way. Anyway, let's see. I told you we were proud members of the Tech Podcast Network, which we are, and I mentioned the stuff. So let's get on with the stuff. This is all, of course, from the blog called drbill.tv, drbill.tv, the website in question. And there are those who think they should question it, but that's okay. First item this week is the Document Foundation, the good folks that put out LibreOffice. You know, recently came out with LibreOffice 4.0, a whole new numbered version, which is awesome. Anyway, they created a Getting Started Guide. And this Getting Started Guide is a PDF. Actually, they have it in several formats, but this particular one is in PDF. And I have a link to it on the drbill.tv website. So I encourage you to go there and download by right-clicking and saving as the file for the PDF, the LibreOffice 4.0 Getting Started Guide. Therefore, you can share this with your friends and family and other folks and get them to switch away from Microsoft Office and over to LibreOffice and free them from the tyranny that is the evil empire of Microsoft. Yes, it's a conspiracy on my part to free them. Anyway, next item. UltraDefrag version 6 is out. A whole new number version for UltraDefrag. Now, UltraDefrag is my very favorite defragger and disk optimizer. Now, of course, you don't have to use defraggers or disk optimizers on solid-state disks. Just a hint there, you don't need to do that. Matter of fact, you really don't want to do that, because as you're realigning all the little bits, you are moving them, and that causes the solid-state drive to be used more, and it only has a limited, although huge, number of reads and writes available. So it's counterproductive, actually, to try to defrag a solid-state drive. Not only that, but it's a solid-state drive, so seek times are not an issue. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. So anyway, but UltraDefrag, for regular old drives, it's awesome. And the new version, as I said, is out. Now, all disk processing algorithms were optimized for speed and efficiency. It's already very fast. Now it's even faster. Support to optimize fat disk was added. The ability to specify the file sorting order and criteria was added for optimization. Additional filters for fragment and file size were added. Optimization now makes use of all specified filters. The ability to minimize the window to the system tray was added. Pretty neat. The ability to display the progress on the taskbar icon was added for Windows 7 and above. File fragmentation reports are now no longer stored in the root folder of the drive, but in a subfolder of the installation folder, so they're no longer left behind when removing UltraDefrag. That's kind of handy. You know, you have those files hanging around even after you've uninstalled it. It's kind of like, what is that? And you go, oh yeah, I remember UltraDefrag left that. But anyway. The Explorer context menu handler is now configurable as well. Good stuff, I'm telling you. Okay, next item. Dude, this is pretty exciting. MakerBot, which is a company that makes 3D printers. You know, those printers that and they actually build up plasticky stuff and make things in 3 dimensions. Well, MakerBot released a new version that they call the 3D Digitizer. Sounds very science fiction-y. And indeed it is. This was at South by Southwest this week, which is in Austin, Texas, I do believe. And basically what this thing does is it scans a physical object. So, for instance, what's a good physical object? Let's use my phone. First of all, it's amazing that my phone is actually present here. Normally, I can't find my phone. It's a thing. Anyway, so you put your phone down or your object down, and it will scan it in 3 dimensions. And then it will print a copy of that thing in 3 dimensions. What? I mean, this is like the very, very, very first generation replicator from Star Trek. Dude! I mean, that's awesome. So, check it out. I'm telling you. There's an article here about it. And there's pictures. If you could follow the link, there's pictures and everything. Dude. Just saying. Now, we have an awesome sponsor, and I want to share with you our awesome sponsor, which is dyn.com. dyn.com. Now you say, what is dyn.com? Well, I'll tell you. Dyn.com, that's why I spell it D-Y-N, rather than just pronouncing it, because you'll go, how do I spell that? dyn.com. They have optimized services for your DNS, which means your website will be faster. And you want your website to display quickly, right? Now, you know that the DNS is the domain name system by which the entire internet is named, and basically how people get to your site is through the domain name system. So, you know, your site is really an IP address, just a series of numbers. Well, that IP address is related to a domain name, which you have purchased from some domain registrar. All right. That information needs to be instantaneously made available to everyone throughout the world. Well, that's where dyn.com comes in. They have optimized, managed DNS systems for you and your small business or website or whatever. So if you sign up for their services, you will have the fastest possible response for your website. And that's awesome. And then another service that they offer is large email lists. You don't want to spam people, but you want to send your customers that have opted in for email, you want to send them email, and you want to do it reliably, and you want to do it, you know, in such a way that, you know, your ISP is not going to shut you down for sending so many emails. So they have a service where they will send out emails safely, smoothly. I'm telling you, managed email services. Awesome. So you need to take advantage of this special offer. So how do you do that? Well, you go to dyn.com/podcast30, podcast 30. that podcast 30 is the special code you need to enter in order to get 30% off their super optimized DNS services or email services. Check them out. Awesome, awesome folks there at Dyn.com. I've used their services before, and I'm telling you, they are awesome. Okay? Check them out. Now, whew, my voice is hanging in there. It's just barely hanging in there. But anyway, Google Chrome OS survived the Pwnium 3 challenge. It's kind of hard to say. P-W-N-I-U-M, Pwnium 3 challenge. Now, here's what I say in the article. Can you imagine if Microsoft offered up the Windows operating system to expert hackers and told them, I'll give you huge money if you can crack this system? Yeah, like that's going to happen, as they say, as if. No, of course they're not going to do that. But Chrome does it for two reasons. One, because the Google Chrome OS is very, very, very secure, being based on Linux, of course. And two, if they do find any back doors or places where you can hack the system, they want to find it and they want to close those doors. Makes sense. So they offered a lot of money to some really, really good hackers to try to get them to see if they could hack into it and win the money. And they couldn't. Impressive. So if you want a really secure OS, check out Chrome. Now, you know, a lot of people say, yeah, but the Chrome OS is just a glorified browser that you can connect to the internet and do these different things, and it's all cloud internet based. I mean, come on. Well, that's the future. That's the way things are going. And you know, the Chromebooks are getting more and more popular all the time. So, you know, cut them some slack and check it out, okay? Now, speaking of checking things out, dude, you know what occurred to me? Fred didn't play the... Whoa! The drum roll! What'd I do, Fred? Catch you napping? I like it. I caught him. Yes, I know. I'm being very smug about catching Fred with his proverbial virtual pants down. Not really. Just saying. But at any rate, that really caught me. Very funny. So, our Geek Software of the Week is really a Geek Website of the Week and a Geek Software of the Week. Yeah, both, you know. Because it is Spoon.net. Now, Spoon.net. You know, there used to be a cartoon called The Tick. And The Tick's battle cry was, Spoon! Just saying. So, now when I saw this Spoon.net, I was like, Spoon! But, even though it's an odd name, it is an awesome, and I mean it, awesome service. Matter of fact, I kept saying awesome in this article to the point that it was just beyond the pale. Okay? I even said, did I mention awesome? Yes, I did. Okay, here's the thing. This thing is awesome. Okay? And rather than try to explain it to you so that it makes sense, which is going to be difficult being me anyway, I will show you how it works with a demo right now.
All right, today we're going to look at a product called Spoon.net. Very strange name for this software. However, it's very impressive. Now, what the software does, you install an agent here on your desktop. This is the lower corner of my screen. Then you click on an application. Now, understand, this is an application that is not installed on my system. It's going to come across the internet. Now notice it buffers, it launches, and then, and I'll move it back onto the screen because it appeared off screen from your perspective, but here is the VLC media player. Now, even though I have it installed locally on my PC, this is not the local version that's running. This is one that's coming off of the internet. So I'm going to quit that. Now I'm going to do an Alt Windows key combination, which will bring back the Spoon.net menu here. And this time I'm going to run Safari. Now, I guarantee you, I don't have the Safari browser installed locally on my machine. That is not a browser I typically use. And yet it will launch, and then it will run Safari. I'm going to bring the Safari browser down into the screen. Do you want it to be your default browser? No, I don't. Alright, it jumped back up. I'm going to put it back down here. And then I'm going to go to the drbill.tv website. And this is the Dr. Bill site in Safari. Now, you'll notice that Safari does not support HTML5 and WebM video. As it says here, does not support the HTML5 video tag. I find that unfortunate for all of you Mac users out there that are running Safari. But anyway, pretty interesting. I'm going to close this out, hit the Alt Windows tab again. And here's another one that is amazing to me. Linux. Not Linux. LibreOffice. I was thinking Linux as I saw the L there. But it's LibreOffice. Now I'm running LibreOffice version 4 on my PC. This is actually an older version, and I'm going to bring it back into the window here. But I click on the text document. Notice how quickly that opens. This is coming off the internet. This is a virtualized application, not installed locally, coming off the internet. Now, there are a lot of products, including Citrix, that allow you to do this, as well as VMware's ThinApp allows you to virtualize applications. But this is an entire suite of applications. Various types. I haven't even gone through all of these. There's Miro, different ones that I have experimented with. But you can actually go to all applications. Maybe that's what I need to do. Go to social. Here's Twitter, instant messaging. Here's media, converters, graphics, players. I mean, all kinds of things that are available out there that you can run through this interface. And as I said, all I had to do was install this small agent, and it allows me to access all of these virtualized, network enabled across the internet applications. This is pretty cool. So I'm making Spoon.net our Geek website of the week. It's also the Geek software of the week if you look at it as the ability to install this agent and then run virtualized applications. So these are applications you would not have to install and, so to speak, clutter up your system with, but you can run them directly from the internet. Now, Spoon.net also allows you to download the actual server side of this, so a business could set up a server that virtualized applications and delivered them to their internal clients and external clients, which is pretty powerful. Now, that is not a free option. That's a purchased option, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to do a little more research on that to be 100% sure, but this is pretty powerful stuff. And it works so smoothly. I'm very impressed. Now, I'm running this here on Windows 8. Okay, so this is Windows 8 running this little agent, and then these applications are running off the internet with nothing at all installed locally. Pretty powerful stuff.
So you see what I mean? Isn't that cool? Now, I mentioned in the demo that I wasn't sure if they charged, for the server that you could run on your own server, the host side. And in fact they do. However, they have a 30-day free trial. Okay? Did a little reading on the website, found this out. Should have done it before the demo. Sorry. But anyway. So, they do have a 30-day free trial, but then you have to contact them, and talk about the size of your implementation and so forth, and they'll give you a price on doing that. Or you could just subscribe to their services, okay? And their website, they will provide all this from their website, which is pretty cool. And they have a free version of that. So, dude, now you saw how it worked and how smooth it was. I'm telling you, this is pretty cool stuff. And being, a virtualization VMware Citrix engineer at Hypo Regional Health System, I can tell you, we put a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort into virtualizing applications for our users to make it easy to upgrade one location and then share that application out virtually across the network. A lot of time, effort, energy, and money involved in that. This is an awesome solution, okay? And it is smooth as silk. So you need to check it out. I'm telling you, it's as cool as it looks. So check it out. And I think for those of you that are looking for such things, this could be the one. You know what I'm saying? Yes. All right. Last item here. Is it the last item? Wow. Last item is the Pwn to Own competition. Now, Pwn to Own is different than the one I was talking about earlier that was looking at the Chrome OS. This one was looking at browsers. And the Chrome OS, even though it wasn't hacked, the Chrome browser sadly was, as was Internet Explorer, of course. I mean, it goes without saying. Firefox and Chrome, all three of the big browsers, they fell to the mercy of hackers at the Pwn to Own competition. But the beauty of the Pwn to Own competition is, as I said earlier, you find the problem and then you plug it. And that's one thing that Google is very good about, is fixing these issues as they arise. That's why the Chrome browser, I'm telling you, is still the safest and best browser. All right? So, pretty interesting how that worked out. And I've got the article there all about that. Now, my voice is beginning to go here because I've been, as I said, fighting off this cold. So rather than push it, I think I'll just mosey on and remind you that the doctor is out of here.
Dr. Bill, the Computer Curmudgeon, is a production of drbillbailey.net with all the honors, rights, and privileges thereunto appertaining.